I could write you a song to make you fall in love. I would already have you right under my arm. I used to follow my tricks. I hope that you like this, but if you probably won't, you think you could have it. You got designed to say just to hide your face, and you wear 'em around like you couldn't have been. And you never say hi or remember my name, and it's probably 'cause you think you could have been. You got your heart brown, shoes on your feet, and you wear 'em around like it ain't, but you don't know the way that you look when your steps make that much noise.
What's up, you steaming buckets of monkey spunk? This is BDC coming at you live from the road. We started off in Framingham, Massachusetts for a run down to Long Island, New York. I guess I'm doing a whole-ass tour of duty in the Northeast. Fine by me. So last week I gave our 30th episode a clever title and the views rolled right in. We had almost 224 hours. I am very impressed with how it all worked out. We also gained a new subscriber. I want to welcome my boy Juicebox to the show. How about that intro? I want to give a shout out to Ethan Fields for the music. I didn't ask permission to use it, but hopefully I can slip through the cracks, as per usual. I mean, I have no intention of monetizing this channel, so we can do whatever we want. What you are looking at is Throg's Neck Bridge, the structure that connects the Bronx to Long Island. I thought it would be nicer than New York City proper, but no. It's just as ghetto there as it is here. I saw a tweaker driving crazy until he got pulled over by the cops. I actually saw the cop before the tweaker driving crazy himself in an unmarked car. Then the tweaker rolled up switching lanes, his SUV swerving sickeningly. All of a sudden, the unmarked car started flashing his red and blues, and that was that. I didn't see the actual stop, but I'm sure the cop completely lost it and even drew his weapon. Somebody better call Lackluster. I ended up driving the length of Long Island, which is more or less west to east. Construction and traffic everywhere. That was the theme for the day. I got flipped off a total of 3 times today, all of them right here on Long Island. Hard to believe someone as well-mannered and personable as Mick Foley came from here. Ron Kovic is from here too, and I'm sure some others. What really blew my mind was after my long drive across the island, I finally get to my exit and I was shocked at what it was. I remembered the movie, but I've always heard that the haunted house story was complete bullshit. The murders really happened, though. Before you ask, I didn't even bother looking for the house, because I heard that the new owners changed the iconic windows. I didn't have time anyway, because I was immediately dispatched to New Jersey when I was done here. They gave me a pickup time of 4 in the afternoon, but I knew right from jump that there was no way that was going to happen. The traffic just would not allow it. I did my best and they ended up extending my window until 5. Just get me out of the Northeast. Look at this shit. This place looks like goddamn Mogadishu. So my drop and hook in Lyndhurst only took about 10 minutes. And then I was on my way out of New Jersey. Headed to Ohio. Hopefully they won't send me back here for a little while. I mean, I'll go wherever, but there is never any place to park up here, and everything is super tight. The streets, the docks, the turns, everything is tight, and the people are assholes. Middle fingers are constantly flying in my direction, and no one will let you merge. That's why you say goodbye and I say good riddance. I'd like to head down to Texas if possible. I haven't been there in a while. Either that or send me someplace that I've never been before. I'm all about doing things for the first time. I will say though, New Jersey is the state that took me most by surprise. All my life I've heard jokes about how dirty it is. and how New York City dumps all their garbage there, but it's really a beautiful place. Fully loaded, I made it to Drums, Pennsylvania before I laid it down for the night. It was really tight getting in here because I showed up late, so I'm hoping that it will be cleared out after the sun comes up. Fingers crossed. So I was right. I woke up at 7 a.m. and it was clear on both sides. I was able to pull out and start across central and western Pennsylvania. It is seriously gorgeous country out here. If I wasn't committed to living on the truck, I'd consider buying some land out here. I was doing like 30 miles per hour just to get to this. The highest point on Interstate 80 east of the Mississippi, 2,250 feet. Those are rookie numbers, not even a mile above sea level. But who am I to judge? I had a hard enough time just getting up this motherfucker. Then it was into Ohio, going back to this one place I've already done a drop and hook at. If I remember correctly, the office staff are a bunch of fucking wank-stained jerk-offs. But check this out. I saw a Bay Area rapid transit car being transported through the Midwest. The last place I ever would have expected to see one. I had to pull out my camera and get some footage of it. I wonder if that thing is getting taken all the way to San Francisco. I also saw this sign for a candy shop with a very problematic name. So when I did my delivery, the dude was a total cocksmith after leaving the office unattended for like 15 minutes. He tried to be a hard ass until I threw my papers on the desk when he reached out for them. Then he chilled the fuck out. I'll drop this motherfucker right in front of the door so you can't get out. I was able to grab an empty and go park for the night. Pick up tomorrow at 11 a.m. going back the way I came, but at least I don't have to go back to New York City. You can never overlook the importance of good trip planning. We're driving to just outside Scranton, and while we can make it in just under 10 hours, we have to plan our trip wisely to ensure we get our 30-minute break and the remainder of our time. You see, truck drivers can only drive for 11 hours a day, but only 8 in one go. Somewhere within that 8 hours we have to stop and take a 30-minute break, after which we get the remaining 3 hours. It's all very complicated, but requires planning. The good thing about Pennsylvania is that there are plenty of rest stops and truck-friendly gas stations, so it shouldn't be a problem. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to look at a map and try to get it as precise as possible. There's always traffic, construction, or some bullshit. This delivery can't be dropped until after midnight, so I can take my time. There isn't really any reason to rush. If my pre-plan is correct, it's just a simple drop and hook at a distribution center. Should be a quick in and out. So we got to the shipper about 10 minutes early, which is good because I never know where to go. The lady working the shipping and receiving desk was actually nice. It's terrible that such a reaction catches me off guard. But now we're watching the red light. I can't move this beast until the light changes from red to green. We are physically locked to the dock door. After sending all my paperwork in, letting them know that I've arrived and am being loaded. Nothing else to do but sit and check out the scenery. Not much to look at, just a gravel parking lot with a small train yard on the other side of it. Just big trucks and trains. Every little boy's dream come true. You can find a lot of suggestions on how to kill time as a trucker here online. Some of these methods are tried and true. Like you could close your privacy curtains and fire up Pornhub and beat your dick like it owes you money. But if you drive for a company with rear-facing cameras, you might want to rethink that. For me, it's too early in the morning for all that bullshit. Instead, I fired up my weather app to see what kind of conditions I'm going to be driving into. There are flash flood warnings, but they are all south of here. It looks like I'm going to miss most of that. Smooth sailing all the way to our destination. And sure enough, the first time I wasn't paying attention to the light, it changed to green. So I pulled away from the dock, slid my tandems forward, locked the doors, and applied the seal. Now we are ready to roll. I hopped back into the driver's seat and hit the road. Up some 2-lane highways through small-town Ohio. If I remember correctly, this is near the same place where that Amish dude I met on the bus ride up here was from. I wonder what him and his band of hooligans are up to. Probably raising a barn or some shit. There was a little bit of traffic on my way out. It was backed up from the exit to the regional airport. I don't know if there was some type of accident, or if everyone was just trying to get the fuck out of Pennsatucky, Ohio. I know if I lived here, I would. But just a bit beyond that, we were back on the interstate, where there are no stop signs and everything makes more sense. I've driven this route so many times already, I know it like the back of my hand. Like CJ said, oh shit, here we go again. I was driving thinking that I'd probably stop in Youngstown, just shy of the Pennsylvania border, and get something for lunch. Like I mentioned earlier, I can't drop this load until after midnight, so I'm not in any real rush. I've got like 3 hours of wiggle room. Ed O'Neill, the actor who played Al Bundy in Married with Children, is from here in Youngstown. I don't think anyone else of note is from here. But it's deep in the heart of Steelers country, so I feel welcome. They have all kinds of Steelers merch in this store I stopped at. But I'm not here for that. I'm just here to grab something quick to eat and get back on the road. I want to get as close to my destination as possible. I'll sit and wait outside of the gate if needs be. They may even let me in early. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, honk the horn all you want. Look what was waiting for me on the other side of the Pennsylvania border. Well, so much for being early. The GPS was real vague and said it was just a hazard. But you know it's bad when people are getting out of their cars to smoke. And then we got this guy who turned his car into a political billboard. Let's take a moment and appreciate the American flag on a Toyota. These fucking jokes write themselves, I swear to God. By the time I got to the front of this mess, it was just construction. I didn't see anything else except it went down to 1 lane. People just don't know how to drive. So I spent the rest of the trip trying to make up for the 45 minutes I lost. Dispatch also called me and let me know that I'd be down until Monday. I'm actually cool with that. I need time to regroup. I've been averaging 400 miles a day, not too shabby for a rookie. It was indeed smooth sailing after this colossal goat fuck. I've driven across this state so many times, I'm actually starting to like it. Random folk like these bikers are starting to recognize me. They're like, hey, there goes BDC and his 40-ton war machine. If you don't believe me, look at this dude pulling up the rear. He actually waved at me. Real recognizes real. So earlier I showed you the highest point east of the Mississippi as you're heading west. But here's what it looks like heading east. Imagine driving an 80,000-pound truck down these mountains. You gotta have balls of steel, let me tell you. When you're driving east and you have the sun behind you, it creates this weird optical illusion that makes it seem like your trailer is whipping to one side. The first couple times I saw it, it freaked me the hell out, and I quickly checked my mirrors. I had a little trouble at the receiver, getting it into the box, but I made my delivery and parked. 15 miles down the highway with less than a minute left on my DOT clock. I moved confidently into their midst. I didn't even realize this rest stop was also a way station. That's so gangster. So when I had talked to dispatch earlier, they said my pre-plan for Monday is picking up just down the highway from my current location and taking it to North Carolina. That's awesome. I was pissed scared they were going to send me back to New York. As you can see, I parked on the on-ramp of the rest area, but I was fighting that damn clock as per usual. I don't know why I always cut it so close. I mean, I want to use up all my time and maximize it, but I need a little bit more wiggle room than 60 seconds. This place had vending machines, which is going to have to supply dinner for tonight. My clock expired at exactly midnight, which means I'll be able to relocate at 10 in the morning. So I'll eat my brownie and drink my Pepsi like a big boy. I'm not even really that hungry. I bought one of those charcuterie boards with pepperoni, cheese, and crackers for lunch, and it was very filling. I'll be able to find a better location to chill until Monday when the sun comes up. Until then, it's time for sleep.